I've been watching a lot of other YouTubers here lately, and you keep asking the question of yourself, when will I get monetized? I've been on YouTube for 9 years and I'm still not monetized. And it's about not following into somebody else's story. It's about making sure that you don't get into that comparison panel, get into that comparison cycle of where you're constantly, comparing yourself to others. Because one of the quickest ways to find unhappiness is to compare yourself. Because our brain is activated, the way our brain works, we look for threats and we look for things to improve upon. So we're always going to find, no matter who it is we're looking at, no matter what situation, we're going to find a reason why we compare as less than. That's just the natural tendency. And when we get into that pattern, it just simply, you keep looking for reasons for, you're going to find them. And that's just not helpful. So at the end of the day, if you're like me and you want to go ahead and monetize your YouTube channel or whatever else that it is that you might want to do, if it's something else that you want, number one, yeah, sure, it's important to look at people that have actually achieved it, especially people that are perhaps, you're in kind of your situation, your age, or whatever it might be. But to realize it's really important not to get into that comparison cycle where you're thinking, well, the reason they have achieved and I haven't is because we're all motivated by stories. So that's one thing I always have to keep in mind, or I'm starting to keep in mind on my YouTube channel, because I've always sort of wanted to teach from this very sort of esoteric kind of removed level, but people are changed by stories. So it's important for me to realize that, number one, but also it's important for us to realize that our brain is always creating story. And as we create story, stories classically have, like a villain, and they have a victim. And so we tend to want to put ourselves into a victim state, where somebody else is a victor over us. And that puts us at this very disempowered state of where we no longer have control or ability or agency, in what we do. And losing agency isn't helpful, at all. So it's always very important to keep in mind how your mindset works for you or doesn't work for you, depending upon what it is that you want to do. Because what's interesting is that whatever we tell our brain, whatever we tell the universe, the brain believes that, and the universe believes that. So if we give our brain, or if we give the universe story, no matter what it is, whether it's empowering or disempowering to us, the brain and the universe believe it, and that becomes the reality. That becomes what we see. That's becomes what we perceive. That becomes what of all the billions of points of data that surround us, we notice. And so that's what becomes available to us. And it's not that everything else isn't there, it's that we have blinders on. We have these glasses that only allow us to see this one thing. And so we have to make sure that as much as we're able to, we put on the glasses that see the empowering things that actually help us to achieve what it is important for us to achieve. It goes back to beg the same question I asked at the beginning. Will I ever monetize this channel? Well, I hope so. I'm getting really, really close. I've never been this close before. Tantalizingly close. But I'm still not there, so I'm in this sort of maybe like a period of almost like pregnancy. Like the baby's there, the baby's just not here yet. And so if you'd like to help me get monetized, I'd appreciate that by your liking, subscribing, and commenting below, and maybe letting me know what you think. And if you are struggling to monetize your channel as well, I would love to help you in that effort. And I'd love for you to help me as well. We can be a community where we work and help and support each other. Because as I believe, is always one ship rises, we all rise. So your achieving doesn't take away from my achievement. It actually helps my achievement. So until later, I hope you have an amazing day. I'm here to help if I can, and I hope you help me. And love, peace, and release.